Well, hey, what do you say? You want to get us kicked off or you want to wait?
Yeah, absolutely. I am Sandy Hilsenrath. I am on the advancement team here at HGA Fundraising, and we help nonprofits raise money with the most profitable auction items in fundraising. I'm joined today. We had to bring them right back, and it was not planned. When we finished up last week, It was not planned, and we were like, guys, come on back. We were just going to have Trevor, myself, and Jason on this week talking about something, but we really had to have them. Like I said, we talked about a lot last week, but not enough. So we have Louis and Claire back this week, and then Trevor, our co-founder, and I see your bike back there, Trevor. So I'm sure you've been riding.
He's ready.
But if you can just introduce yourself for those of you who don't know us.
That's my bike, Lucille. We'll start with her. No,
Lucille.
Just a conversation piece. That's all it is. Just a conversation piece back there. But no, hey, thanks everybody for coming. Yeah, really appreciate it. As Sandy mentioned, we're tickled to have the Murads back for another episode. Last week was so good. The feedback was so good. Please, that means the world to us. The DMs that we were getting and all the kind words about the episode. And it just goes to show it's like there's a need for this service in our space with regard to event fundraising, with regard to auctions and everything in between and behind the scenes and all that good stuff. And what better folks to have join us than Claire and Louis Murad from Murad Auctions. You know, we were talking off air a second ago. It's like, as mentioned, we're going to do a deep dive on revenue enhancers, silent auction, online auction, live auction. We'll talk about board engagement, sponsorships, all that good stuff today. Make sure to bring your questions for sure. But, you know, the Murads, they do 500 plus events a year. So to say they're experts in the space would be an understatement. They have so much information, such a wealth of information, and they're willing to share. So really, really appreciate the willingness, y'all. Really, really appreciate on such short notice. Yeah, I was like, that was so good. Let's do it again. And they're like, okay. So we'll see you Thursday. So
I forgot to mention. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, everyone stay tuned to the very end. As we do every week, we're going to do a trip giveaway so that you can raise money with one of our HGA trips at the end of this. So hang on there. Feel free to put in your questions in the chat as we go along, but we will have a dedicated question and answer at the end as well. So
far out. Yep, keep them coming. And yeah, I always forget house cleaning stuff, so thanks so much, Stacey. But yeah, hey, for folks that weren't here last week, Louis, Claire, do us a favor. You'll do a better job than we will of introducing yourselves and the work that you all doing, what got you in the space and all that good stuff, if you don't mind, and we'll get right to it.
Sure. So Murad Auctions started, this is our 26th year in business. We started in 2000, and we've been helping nonprofits. We started out just providing one auctioneer who his name is Louis. He was my only product long time ago in 2000, and we started charging for auctioneering services and doing consulting and helping clients engineer their live auction. That was back when most charity auctioneers were free and everyone donated their services, and we thought we could step it up quite a bit from there and help our clients really engineer a successful live auction. And then out of that grew our software support. So we provide software and software equipment and staffing at events. And so we really try to help our clients with all the fundraising aspects of their event. So, and we do not run 500 events by ourselves. We have an amazing team who helps us. I would be very tired.
That's a big lift. Yeah.
So,
totally. Yeah. That's awesome. Thanks, Claire. Louis,
Sure.
Anything to add to that, my friend?
Yeah, no, it's been a great ride for us. And I think the more we end up helping people solve what they want to do in making fundraising more fun and more profitable, we end up having a lot of clients. And it's been great for us to just tell what we know. And people come to us and say, yeah, that was a great idea. Can you execute it? And we're like, okay, we'll help you.
That's awesome. Y'all are full of ideas. I want to get right into it for the audience. Hey, thanks, Barb, for the note. Love the webinar last week. Took so many notes. Well, here we go again. Get your notepad ready. But yeah, I wanted to start with three. I wanted folks to be able to leave here, and I threw the mark out there, the ceiling out there. I wanted folks to be able to leave this webinar with 3 revenue enhancers that they could add to their event right now. Okay. That could raise them potentially $10,000 or more. So I'll let you all take it away with some ideas that you have. If you have any kind of visuals or anything like that, Claire, let us know. We'll rock from there too.
Sure. And I'll start with one, or Claire, do you want to start with one? And I'll throw
Go ahead. I'm going to work on sharing my screen here. And
okay. So one of the great revenue enhancers I like is an upfront live surprise idea. So Claire's showing games of galore. So games are a great way to do it. There's a couple ways to go. Sometimes you might do, I've been at an event one time where we had a woman who was wearing a dress that had champagne. And she had champagne that was being served from her dress, and you could grab one. So what you do is you would pay $50 for champagne all night, and you were in for a drawing at the end of the night. She had 200 champagne taps on her. She had little glasses made out of plastic, and you could get them refilled. You get 200 people to do a $50 champagne all night, even though it's an open bar, and that doesn't matter. This is champagne, and she had a great dress, and she was walking around, and you're like, it was just cool to go up there and get it from her. So, and Claire, you may even have a picture of that somewhere. But if you get 200 people, let me have Claire do it immediately.
Yeah, just
have a picture up there. And then if you sold 200 glasses, you made 10 grand.
Yeah.
So there's one way. We even had one that had whiskey on a burro, and the burro was going around, and you got a shot from the burro.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It was, whatever. So he started toddling around. They were giving him some. No, I'm just kidding. So the other one is live surprise. So whether you're doing a live auction or not, this doesn't really matter, because you get everybody in the room to say, hey, folks, and we've done it with our bid paddle where we have a little tear off that says live surprise $100. So what you do is you have somebody donate an item, and everybody takes a chance on the live surprise. They buy a little box. The little box might have a keepsake in it. $100 a box. Hey, folks, there's only 100. $100 a box. There's only 100. The first 100 people that raise their hand get it. You can even do it by just putting their bidder numbers down and handing them the box. Don't open the box until the auctioneer tells you. He's got a little ribbon around it that says, don't open the box. So at the end where everybody's got one, you open the box, somebody wins the prize. It's donated by Eisman Jewelers. Eisman Jewelers are great fundraising. They're there down front. They gave this beautiful piece of jewelry. You want it, go visit them. You get 10% off. It's in your box. Great. Everybody wins. You say, folks, we haven't even started our event, and we just raised $10,000, and we haven't sold one item yet. Right. This is going to be the best fundraising night we ever had. And people are fired up. Somebody won something. Everybody gets a discount at the jeweler, and the jeweler's beaming because you mentioned his name from the live stage. Mm-hmm. So there's two. Claire, you're next.
So, and if you guys tuned in last week, we went into more detail about live surprise too. So there are even more ideas about that from last week's seminar. But one idea that I think is really fun, especially if you're doing a luncheon. We've had quite a few nonprofits this last year do a bingo and purse, a bingo party, and it's also a purse auction. Mm-hmm. So what's great about this is that it allows you to kind of use the purse, a designer purse, as a way to raise additional funds before the live auction. So this is called Fill the Purse. And basically you take a designer handbag and you have a volunteer walking around, for the hour before the live auction happens and asking everyone just to put cash into the purse. And so everybody's just pulling out some cash, filling it up. You have no idea how much money is in the purse. And then the purse is your first live auction item. And so whoever bids the highest wins the purse and all the cash inside the purse. Right. So it's really fun. And a lot of times people will donate some of the cash back to the nonprofit. So it actually helps you raise even more money than what was raised in the live auction. You can do the same thing if the purse really isn't go with the theme of your event. You can just literally do a money bag that's shown here. Or you can do what we call the golden pig, where it's just a pig, a piggy bank, basically, that passes around throughout the whole night before the live auction. People just put their cash into the pig, and then the pig gets sold as the first live auction item. And then the person who wins the pig, if it makes sense for your organization, they basically sign the pig, and the pig goes in like a trophy case of a school or in the front office of a nonprofit, like the reception area. And they end up having kind of several of these pigs that show who their big hero was from the night. Or you can just have one and all the different winners sign it over the years, which is really cool. And then again, the winner gets all the cash that's inside the pig. So
well, and you have an opportunity if you do that up front as your first item. You have an opportunity. The person that wins the money in the pig will likely spend it in the live auction,
right.
And half the time they'll donate it all back. Like this pig maybe split the pot, for instance.
Right.
Well, they say I'll give you the whole pot, or they'll take the whole pot, but they'll spend it at the live auction. You get the money back anyway. So there's a good chance you might enhance your fundraising if you do that up front, and the person with the cash will continue and spend it.
Yeah, Sarah just asked that in the chat. Have you seen people donate all the cash back?
Yeah,
now, I don't think you can count on that, right? But
no, and we've seen people put a lot of peer pressure. Don't do that. I mean, it's like, are you giving it back or not? Right. You have to crawl under the table or give it back.
Yeah,
but, most people are generous.
Yeah, and Sarah, you rock. Sarah put up a really cool link for the champagne dress that Louis was alluding to earlier.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know.
I see it in the notes. Yeah,
Sarah, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, I didn't make that up. There is a champagne dress. I knew that.
I think the champagne thing is really, really cool. I've heard of like acrobatic situations where there were like it was like the yoga with the folks, dangling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I just think that stuff's kind of fun and different, and I love different and exciting. I wanted to backtrack, and this is so commonplace for you, Louis, with the amount of events you all do. But I want you to reiterate and talk about the importance. You said it very, very quickly because this is what you train so many folks to do. You said bidder number. So with all these opportunities, I know that sounds very, very small, but I just really want to reiterate to the audience.
It's huge. And if Claire, so bidder number is huge. So there's so many things you can do with a bidder paddle itself. Now, some people say, we write the number down. Well, I can't see those. Claire's going to put up on the screen. Listen, I'm telling what Claire's going to do. I don't even know. One of our bidder paddles.
You guys are so in sync.
Because it is, there's so many ways to raise money.
Yeah.
From the bidder paddle. And the first one is you're sponsored. So you get a sponsor. So look at this first bidder. Look how great Claire is. She just puts it right up.
Hey, Louis, before you can I mention one thing that's really important? Everybody gets a bid number when they arrive at the event. So when you're doing check-in, you're going to assign a bid number to every single person as they come in, and you're going to pre-scan their credit card. Mm-hmm. And you need auction management software to do this, but it creates what we call the country club effect at your event, so that we assign a bid number to that person, and then the rest of the night, all they have to do is use that number to purchase, to bid in the auction, to bid in the live auction, to make a donation. Mm-hmm. We never ask them to pull their wallet out again. And so it just creates this scenario where people will spend typically 30% more because it doesn't feel like they're spending money. So literally at an event not long ago, a gentleman came up to us at checkout, and I said, "Oh my gosh, you won all these amazing things." And he's like, "I didn't win anything. I'm paying for it all." I said, "No, that's not true. You won all of it, and we appreciate that so much."
So let me answer a question that was asked here. So Kim says, we give couples a bidder number. We usually assign one bidder number because it's usually the same pocketbook. You put one credit card on. I mean, there are certain couples that want to, they can, but for the ease of check-in, one couple, one bidder number. And the question to the auction software is, yes, that's what we do. We offer several different auction softwares, and we do recommend some. I'm happy to talk to you offline about it.
Yeah, we can follow up with you after the episode, Maggie, with some recommendations that the Murads work with on a regular basis. No problem at all, Maggie. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I want to make one comment about Claire's point about the cruise effect and the bidder number. So when we're talking about doing the live surprise that I mentioned, or maybe you want to play heads or tails, you raise when you're about to start, you don't run up to each person and get their number. They raise them in the air. The auctioneer calls them out. Mm-hmm. You guys are all in for heads or tails. You know what's interesting? 80% of the heads or tails game is sold by the auctioneer in 1 minute before you play the game, because everybody forgot to go to the table and get it, or get one when they were walking around. So that is why the software is worth so much money, to have that credit card on file. And then the rest of the night, it's like, who wants a live surprise box? 107, 102, 103. And you hand the boxes and you got the number down, and it's super fast. The key to auctions is everything has to be done quickly. Nobody wants to wait around to see how it's going to go. That's why we do a live auction. It moves along. So good thoughts, everybody.
Well, and this is what Louis was speaking about with the tear-offs on the bid paddles. So these are perforated little tabs, and you can use the bid paddle as a way, instead of the auctioneer calling out the number, you can also do it where they just tear off the little tab that says, I want to play heads and tails for $25, and they just turn that in. And then you have a physical record of it too, so you can do it both ways. And then we love to showcase sponsors on the bid paddles. Of course, you can have a sponsor logo. You can also include a QR code that takes you to the sponsor website to give your sponsor that much more exposure to your guests. And I love this idea. This is a tear-off coupon for a restaurant. It's at the bottom of the bid paddle. And this restaurant sponsored the live auction, and it's basically you're putting a coupon in everyone's hand. They just tear it off, and they can keep it at the end of the night. So it's just, and then a lot of our clients are also using the bid paddles as a way to kind of do away with that expensive program that they were printing. So when you're using event management software, the live auction items can be in preview mode in the auction. And so basically you can just have a live auction packages listed in the order that you're going to be selling them. And then you have a QR code at the bottom that takes them to the auction software where they can view all the details about the item.
Yep.
So, quick question. As far as swiping credit cards on the way in at check-in, do you recommend requiring that they have their credit card swiped, or is it like an optional? You can do this. So, we used to call it Express Pay. Do you want to sign up for Express Pay? And that was kind of when we were first introducing swiping the card at the beginning of the night, right? So it was optional. Now this is years later. So I wonder how you feel about that.
Yeah, most people are very used to this process now. 15 years ago, it was a new process. Right. But now a lot of people, when they come up to us at check-in, have their credit card already pulled out. Or really, most of them have their credit card already on file, because most event software platforms will allow you to leave your credit card on file when you buy your ticket or sponsorship. They'll also allow we recommend that you open your auction several days before your event, and then people can start bidding, and then at the time of check-in, their credit card's already on file. So depending on your event, you could even allow people to skip check-in and go directly to their table if they're already pre-registered and have a credit card. But we have a specific way that we ask for people to put their credit card on file that gets about 98% acceptance rate. And that is when your guest comes to check in, we just say, which credit card would you like to put on file for the auction tonight?
There you go. Yeah.
We don't
Everybody here is saying they get their credit cards on file, no problem. We've trained our people. We got them.
Yeah. And I think people are getting used to it.
It's not. It's 2025. I mean, hey, like, plug for our friend Dave Raley with the subscription economy. I'm not saying people are like, it's the Wild West and their credit cards are floating around all over the place. The security is phenomenal, right? That's the cool part. You don't hear about a lot of identity issues or whatnot, or at least I don't. It's so like Claire said, 15 years ago, it might've been a little bit more of a wrestle, so to speak. Now it's like, I'm big on the vernacular, Claire. It's like, which credit card do you want to put on, right? So it's like, that kind of thing, and the framing that way. But yeah, as folks are saying, very, very easily accepted practice at events now. So, okay, cool. We got some good questions here. Tiffany brought up something really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
I've never heard of this before. Have you?
I have.
Okay.
And I will let me chat to that for a second. So we have an auctioneer I work with who does a deal, and it's very similar to what Tiffany's talking about. So you could put more than just dollars inside the pig or the purse. You could put a weekend stay at your condo. I have an auctioneer that put cards on the table at the beginning of the night and say, what item would you like to donate? We've got Joe who gave us his suite at the Mavericks or whatever the football team or whatever. You put down what you're willing to donate, and the auctioneer calls through. Now, in the case she was talking about, the auctioneers work in the room. Well, that's what we're there to do. You call through what has been donated on a little card. Say, this guy gives us dinner for 10 at his restaurant with wine pairings. He's sitting down front. That's now a live auction item. And you pick 3 or 4 of them, sell them live. And because people are in the moment and you get these items. Now, the back end side is you got to follow up with those people and make sure they do what they say they're going to do.
Right.
Totally.
But it's in the moment is so cool. And I think I love that idea about stuffing a weekend stay at your place in the pig.
Yeah. So cool.
Good idea, Tiffany. That's awesome.
Hey, Kenzie, great question. I'm skipping the line here, but Kenzie, will you Claire, are you okay if Kenzie just emails you directly for the?
Yeah, we do those bitter pedals, Kenzie. So you can email Claire and she will.
Just Claire at Murad Auctions.
We'll hook you up. Yeah. We can type her email into the chat.
Yeah, we can throw it in the chat, or Courtney can, or Kenzie. Yeah, just shoot Claire an email if you don't mind. If
we design them and do them. The design's free.
Brian had a question. Sandy, you want to hit Brian's question?
Yes,
please?
absolutely. So how would you handle that awkward conversation when someone comes up after the live auction, or they got the notification on their phone that they won and they're like, that wasn't me, or they changed their mind
and buyer's remorse.
Any tips on handling that conversation?
I know you all have seen this before.
Yeah, we have.
We open a lever and they fall into the floor.
You pull the document.
No, Claire does something different. Claire, what do you do?
Bye-bye. So I think it's important on your auction site that you have your auction rules spelled out. So if you bid, you have purchased. I think it's important to have that initially, so that you really outline that for your guests who are attending the event and bidding in the auction. With mobile bidding, it's really, if it's a silent auction item, there is definitely history there that proves that they actually had to do something to bid. You can decide based on who the person is, if you're going to press it and ask for them, and make them keep the item. Most people will try to sell it to the underbidder. So with a mobile bidding platform, you can easily see who the underbidder is and go to them and sell it to them. If it's a live auction item, one thing that we think is important is our bid spotters and ringmen get the backup bidder for the live auction items, so that if this happens, you can go to the backup bidder, the person who is the underbidder in the live auction, and ask. And what we've had this doesn't happen very often, and it shouldn't happen very often for you, but we have had some clients who said, okay, if you don't want this package, would you make a donation to us? Mm-hmm. And typically they will do that.
I once had the situation.
Do that right then that night though, so there's no lapse in time if you have the ability to. Yes. Okay.
I once had the situation with a puppy, a live animal. Ooh. That they said, oh wait, I was joking. I don't want the puppy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the point about starting earlier with your live auction. We wanted to have a couple of drinks, not 6.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't do the auction last.
Right.
Right. Well, that's good. That's really good. Hey, Liz, okay, I'm starting to sense something. We'll probably need y'all back for part 3 because all these questions are coming.
Yeah.
So, there was, just to close this little topic out, if you have a skilled auctioneer, if the item, so your bid spotter is going and confirming, right, with this person that they won and letting them know you won. If they start getting pushback at that point, they can go to the auctioneer and say, it didn't sell. The auctioneer will say, oh my gosh, you guys, how amazing that the item was donated back to us and we are going to sell it again. Yeah. And then everyone in the audience thinks, that's amazing. We're going to sell it again. They have no idea that it didn't sell.
These people didn't want it.
Right.
No, it was donated back.
Yeah. It's not a want.
No, everything's up. Everything's up.
Totally.
Well, let's talk about some other. Go ahead, Trevor. Did you want to?
I want to get to Rosalind. Do us it's good to see you again, Rosalind. Hey, will you do us a favor, Rosalind? Shoot Claire an email if you don't mind. Her email address is right there above your comment, if you don't mind, and she'll get that perforated bid paddle over to you, or what the service they use for it. I think you all just have them. Sorry, Sandy. Claire said something, and I want her to double click on it. I'm really, really sorry. Like I said, part 3 is coming next week.
Yeah.
But, no, hey, sorry, y'all. No, but okay, you said something about backup bidders, and I want you all to explain what that means, because we don't get an opportunity to talk about it very often. Where let's just say you do have an item that you can sell multiple times, and let's just frame it this way in the silent auction, online auction portion, okay? and we have backup bidders. Let's say the bid was $4,100 and they won the item, and there were people at $4,000, $3,900, $3,800. How do you all approach or train organizations that you work with and your team to approach those backup bidders and offer them an item? Once again, disclaimer being, this is an item that can be sold, an infinite amount of times, or 10 times in an evening. How do you coach people up on the backup bidder process? Because I think that's an underutilized. You have someone in the room, 50%, maybe 30% chance they've never been to your room. Maybe they're in your room, they're a guest, and they were willing to give at the $4,000 level with my example here, and they didn't get the item, but it's an item you could sell multiple times. Is everybody following, I hope, with my quick thing? Claire, Louis, how do you approach the backup bidders and have your team do that?
Do you want to answer, Louis, or you want me to?
Well, he's asking more specifically about silent auction.
Yeah. So I can answer
quickly,
this.
I'll say in the
live too. Yeah.
Let's do the live silent first, Claire. So how do y'all handle that with software?
With the silent auction, we do have some clients who are very comfortable with reaching out to the underbidders because we have their contact information before they're allowed to bid in the auction. And when they check in, we confirm that we have their cell phone number, their email address. And so the person from the organization can reach out to those bidders after the event and offer them those items. Some of our clients have actually put something in the description or a sign on the silent auction table next to the display sheet saying, this item will be sold to the 3 top bidders. And so when you do that, it's automatic because then our team just goes in and looks up who the underbidders are and sells the item to each one of those top 3 bidders. So you can either make it something that you do after the event, but when you're doing it in the moment, I think it's better because people are in that mood to buy.
Agree.
Let me get one more opinion from you, Claire, while we're talking about it. So let's just say, I'm just using numbers here, but let's say the winner was at 41. There's a $4,000 bid, a $3,900 bid. Where do you advise folks? Do you meet them where they're at? Like, hey, are you good at 39? Great. Do you drop everybody at 39? So we're not ostracizing. I mean, I'm a believer in the folks that bid 4,100. They're the winners. But how do you kind of handle that situation? Okay,
so in silent auction, you can do whatever you want. They don't know what the other person paid.
Okay.
And so that's no problem. In the live auction, we drop down if it's live to match. If you do it off stage and there's a big disparity, no one knows what the first one sold for. They see that. You go back and say, especially I've had some that were at 10,000. The guy goes, well, the cost is 4. I was at 8. Afterwards, let me see you on the side. I'll do another one for 8, but don't one might pay 10, one might pay 8, but I don't do it live. People get upset.
So Louis, do you want to demonstrate how you would sell a package twice live from stage?
Quickly, you're at 7,500, 8,000. I've got you at 8,500 down 9, and they get 9. They go, no, not 9. I said, well, I got 8,500 here. Why don't you just match it, and we'll make 17,000 for the charity. Yes, and yes, folks, $17,000 was made. I dropped down. Sometimes you drop up. The key is you don't land on the person doesn't keep their paddle in the air. You land on the other person.
Right.
So you got to know who's the stronger bidder and who's on the edge for everyone.
Right.
We have some questions coming in, but let's just take this opportunity, Sandy, if you're cool with it, to talk about the live auction and how we develop this situation where you can sell items. We'll go a little bit longer on that, Louis, how you can sell items multiple times in the live, how you set that up pre-event, how you advertise it pre-event, how do you get the bidders prepared for something like that, if you don't mind.
Let me give you one example. So you got this great chef who's a local person, and everybody loves him. And he goes, you know what? I offer a chef's dinner, and I'm going to do it for 10, and I'm going to add wine pairings. So you want to sell it twice, and you want to so you go to the chef. You don't ask for 2 because he graciously donated 1. You come up instead and say, hey, chef, let me ask you something. If I get enough money, what would that second dinner cost me? Oh, it's $1,200. Good, because we got $5,500 last year. Or he'll say, hey, if it goes for XYZ, I'll donate the second one so he can look like a hero. But you never asked him for a second one, and you got a second one. And you got the price for the second one should it not be donated. So, and I've done it before where you had we had a trip to the Masters one time, and I know they cost about $12,000. Well, I was getting $25,000 for it, and it wasn't set up in advance. I'm on the stage and said, let's just do another one. The watching chair goes, I don't know where another one is. No, you set it up in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you call Trevor and said, what is this? How many times can I sell this item if I got it from, if I got it from HGA? Well, you can have that multiple times. Almost all of them are multiple times. So look at the numbers. So this is set up in advance. I got an item from Trevor. I want to go to Mexico, all inclusive. It costs $1,500, okay, or $1,400. Okay, I get to 3,000. I'm going to sell it multiple times. I've doubled my money. If I only get to 2,000, I'm going to sell one. But I talk to the auction chair in advance. Say, what are we going to make when we sell the second one? I'll do one no matter what if it makes over 5 or 1,000. Or maybe I want to stop at 2,500 and say everybody in the room gets one. Mm-hmm. Then I sell 10 of them, make $10,000. Those are all what we talk about in advance. What's my goal? What do I want? What do the people in my room withstand? Oh, they loved that Mexico trip last year. Let's do it again. So I set it up with you, and then we figure out which way we want to go. That makes you comfortable, makes your donor comfortable, and makes everybody happy and makes the most money. It's just this whole.
So there's also a cool way you can do it too. And I'm trying to remember, I can't remember what we've called this, but basically you start out the auction, you have everyone raise their bid paddle.
It's another way.
Everyone in the room raise their bid paddle. We're going to take a picture of the room. It's going to be an amazing picture. So then you have the photographer come on stage, take a picture. Then you start selling an item that can be sold multiple times, like Louis was just talking about. Mm-hmm. And so basically you start at a level. Let's say you say, okay, I'm going to start at a high level, a high dollar amount, and then I'm going to come down from there. I want you guys to keep your bid paddles raised until you're not comfortable with it being raised anymore. And so they'll start and they'll start at 5,000, and those who aren't comfortable will put it down. Then 4,000, then 3,000. And when you get to, let's say you have a package that's the cost on it is maybe $1,200, say. And when you get to 3,000, you're like, okay, everybody who still has their paddle raised in the room, you guys just got this amazing package to Mexico. And so then it might be 20 people, it might be 10 people, but then you're just going to call out those bid numbers super quick. Yeah. And then you've made $1,500 on all of those, and it's been a super quick process.
Yeah. You generally rise it. Yeah. You start with, hey, I'm going to Portugal for 5 days, the most amazing place in Lisbon. And who'll do it for 1,000? Well, I bet you will. Who'll do 1,500? Who'll do 2? Who's still in at 3,500? Now I made 1,000 or 1,500. Okay, y'all all are going. You're all going.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Same thing.
Love it. So good.
So just a reverse auction. So actually, I had it backwards. Thanks, Louis.
Well, it could be done either way. Who'll pay $10,000 for this $1,000 trip? No, okay.
It depends on your room. It depends on your room. Go ahead, Sandy.
We've had a lot of back and forth about mobile bidding, and should you use paper and pen or mobile bidding? And there's folks who are saying all the way, mobile bidding all the way, and I agree,
pins.
100%. Yeah.
Can't find a pin. Do mobile bidding.
The only time I think out of all of our events, we have 3 that are still on paper. And the reason they're on paper is because their event takes place in a horse arena in the middle of nowhere where there's no cell service and no Wi-Fi. And it will work on paper if you'd have that, and that's okay. But you will raise typically 20 to 30% more if you do mobile bidding, and
it pays for itself.
It allows you to share the auction with so many more people, get so many more people participating. It gives them a lot more time to bid, especially because we can open the auction up several days before your event and allow people to start looking at the auction items, to start bidding, saving their list of favorites while they're having their coffee in the morning or their glass of wine at night. And they're, just taking their time and getting everything set up and start bidding. So then when we check them into an event, we say, I'm going to send you a text with a link to the auction. They're like, I've already started bidding. I got all my favorite items already going.
Yeah. And they don't even have to attend the event. I mean, if you have, just an audience that can't make it or, will not be there, they can still bid, they can still participate. They get notified when they get outbid. If you're walking around a cocktail hour and you have, 100 items out or 50 items out, and they have to keep going back and forth and they're in conversation, they want to talk to their friends and such. it's so much easier just to get a little ping on their phone than have to continuously go back to the auction item that they're trying to win.
Right.
And then they're only bidding potentially on 1, 2, in the room. So
yeah. And it's interesting. That's such a great point, Sandy, that people who can't attend can still bid. I have had some clients express some concern and say, well, I want to protect my event. I don't want people to get out of buying a ticket to my event and they're just going to be couch potatoes and bid on the silent auction. So you've got to have some things available during your event that is exclusive only to people who are attending the event. So maybe that's the live auction. Maybe that's the game. You've got these great prizes, but it could also be 10 exclusive silent auction items that are only available to those who are attending. And so our software platform that we use quite a bit is the only one I know of out there where you can actually make certain auction items only available to people who've checked into the event and nobody else can see them. Right. And I love that feature because it gives you all the advantages of opening the auction early, letting everyone bid, but then you protect your event.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And we, as we talked about last week, Trevor's got that package all set up. You just throw it on there and they'll load it for you. And here's 10 items you didn't have. And if you make an extra 10 grand, okay, people are going on vacation. It's not funds from the event. It's funds from our vacation funds. Hey, I'm going to Portugal anyway, so I'm just going to buy your package and let them make some money.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. People are asking, what the platform is. And so Claire's email.
It's muradbid.com.
There you go. Muradbid.com. You know what, Claire, or Courtney, can you type that into the chat?
Muradbid.net too.
No, I love it.
But yeah, we can show you guys the software and let you see it. That's no problem. That's awesome.
Alexandra, thanks so much. We're going to connect with you. We can talk it through with you as well. Thank you so much. I thought that was Sarah had a great point about the live auction, but I want to segue into the silent auction and that exclusive piece. Actually, we can double click on that too. Sarah said we sold our HGA trips multiple times. Sorry,
there you go.
Questions coming in. The last bidder prior to backing out was offered the package at the last bid they made, and then both bidders were able to win at the lower price point. So an extra $100, the disparity in bid amounts and bid increments, and only offering one package. 2 people won at the lower price point, netting us an additional $6,000. So awesome.
Everybody's happy.
Yep. Great feedback, Sarah. Thank you again for sharing. Amazing. Hey, so I think once again, I don't think silent auctions are going anywhere. That's for sure. As many people want to talk about the fact that there's no efficacy to them and blah, blah, blah. And there's so much work. Yes, there are a lot of work if you're out procuring 100 different items and not bundling them and not being deliberate and whatnot. But let's double click on that, Claire, what you mentioned about having an exclusive or super silent vacation station, whatever you want to call it, trip board, that allows folks that are in attendance to have access to these items. And then also, if you don't mind, talking about the sponsorship opportunity and whatnot, and just the ability to raise another 10,000+ with something like that, something exclusive like that at the event, if you care to share some experience there.
Sure.
So someone mentioned One Cause. We are One Cause providers and support One Cause as well. So we have more than one software platform, and One Cause is one of them.
Yeah, they're a great platform. So silent auction, I think is really important to include in your event. It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to have 100 items, right? We typically recommend that you have the maximum number of silent auction items you would have is half the number of bid profiles in the system. So if you have 200 people coming to your event, mostly couples, then that's going to be 100 profiles, right? 100 pocketbooks or credit cards on file. So that's the maximum number of items you want to have. And actually, we like to have even fewer than that. I like to go half of that number.
Half of that number.
As long as you have higher valued items. So if you have 50 items that are worth $150 or more, then that's going to be great. And a lot of that has to do with just basic economics, right? Supply and demand. The fewer items you have, the higher price you're going to garner for each of those items, because if you have the same number of items as people in the room, you're going to have a garage sale. And that's not what we want. So we want to have good quality items. I love the vacation station idea where you basically have a category and just of travel and experience items, and they can be items that have been donated to you. They can be, and you can mix in consignment packages to kind of round it out. You can look at what you've had donated and say, okay, we don't have any golf. We don't have any European vacations. Just supplement if you want to, which is great. And then the silent auction allows you to present something to the people who are coming to your event. You want to have something for everyone to participate in. So not everyone can participate in the live auction, but maybe I can buy a couple of silent auction items. And then I also think it's important about the value of items that you're getting in your silent auction is going to be impacted by how you ask for those items. So when you go to a retailer and you say, oh, would you donate an item to our auction? It's in 6 months. They have no idea what you want, and they're just going to get something off the shelf and go, here is a $20 item. But if you say, oh my gosh, you walk into a grill store and you say, I'm creating this amazing package, and I've got one person who's going to give us all the meat, and I need a smoker for the meat, and then I want a coupon for them to come in and get all the accessories, and then they can get excited around that, and then your name is going to be displayed with the silent auction item. So ask for a lot more than what you want. If you want a $200 item, ask for a $400 item, and then you'll be happy when they give you a $300 item. So I'll let somebody else talk. That was a lot.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, and that is the key. Is we never ask for a silent auction item. I'm always asking for the live auction item. And if it drops down, then I might have a category that this didn't make live. We have a not quite live silent auction. So if we say items that we want for silent auction fall off of live, and we want items in the live auction that bring 2 to 20,000, then anything below 1,500 or 1,000 is in the not quite live. Now, if you want to spend your time, and this is why people get frustrated with silent auctions, is because they have a lot of $50 items. People will spend more, bundle them up. You know, maybe I don't want the McDonald's gift card for $25, but I would like the nice restaurant. Good. You got to take the McDonald's. It's bundled in. I've got a $500 worth of restaurant gift cards, and that happens to be one of them. But I really want the other one, so I'll take this one, and I'll pay 100%. Restaurant gift cards go for 100%. 100%
or more.
Yeah.
Or more. So bundle them up. Or if you get enough of them, I'll do a dine around town for your live auction. I got 200 here, 200 here, 200 here. I've got dinner for you for every month of the year. It's for 2,500. Let's kick off this live auction. So food does well, but ask for the higher number every time. I want the back room with the chef. I don't need $50 gift card.
Sure.
Made a call.
So we have a few minutes before we're going to get into our meat of the question and answer. And so we have a lot of questions about software. And so, but before we get into a Q&A, I'd like to talk a little bit more about procuring those items and getting your board and committees engaged and looking for the right items. Right. I always built a wish list, and really ask them to go, okay, who can, let's take out a whiteboard, who can go after this, who can go after that. So any other tips on engaging them? Sometimes we have a board or a committee that has 5 worker bees, and then, a bunch of others that are just kind of not as active.
I think so there are 2 ways to get your items, right? One is from your board and one is from a solicitations committee. Okay. So your board, what I think is a great idea, and this is going to go a little bit deeper into board development. So I'm just going to touch on it and make a statement. So you have to have certain requirements for people to be on your board. And one of those requirements might be that you buy a certain number of tickets to our event. You invite a certain number of guests to our event. you donate a certain amount to our organization, and maybe you bring 5 auction items to our event, that's at a certain value, or whatever number you want that to be. But it's almost a contract with every board member that you have. So if you do that, then you can go with your wish list to your board meeting, Sandy, and say, okay, this is my wish list. You guys all are supposed to give me 5 items. So who wants what? Who's going to commit to getting those items, which I think is really good. So, and then from a solicitations committee's perspective, you need to get the right people on that committee. They need to be salespeople. You don't want, you can have someone who's detail oriented, who will put all these items in the software. That's great, but that person is not going to go out and ask for items. Your sales personalities will go ask for the items, and you just need to give them a script and tell them what, and basically give them a goal, and maybe even create a contest between the committee and whoever gets the most items. And we had a client, and I thought this was such a great idea. In the description of the item, the first line said this item was donated by, whatever the store was, and solicited by Susan James. So you knew your name was going to be on every single item that was solicited. So you, by golly, were going to get good items.
Pressure is on.
And to your point, Claire, people want to be personal about everything. So my first item was, I asked everybody on the board to put their favorite whiskey in this basket. Joe gave me this Blanton's. I got the Eagle Rare from this guy, and this is the board's pick. Well, now it's worth more. And you know who's going to buy it? The board, because they're going to put their money in it. But now they've been recognized. But, I see Becky put a note in here. Our board doesn't do anything with events. Well, let's get the board that does, because what are we asking them to do? Oh, we come to the event and we sit with the other board members. No, you don't. You buy a table and bring people who have money in their pockets. Let the other board members also get their own table. That's another thing. Trevor?
No, I just want to piggyback on that, Louis. And it's not because I don't, we see this so often about board engagement, committee engagement. And I'm not giving boards a pass, Becky, but this kind of service and education and encouragement, and what you're hearing from Louis and Claire about this is that a lot of times, frankly, they don't know what to say. They don't know what to ask. And I think I'm not saying always, I'm not even playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying it's always going to be this simple, but if you gave them a roadmap, so to speak, like Claire said, gregarious people that are personal and all these things, put the right person in the right position to succeed. For instance, if you gave them a roadmap to understand exactly what you need, I think that we'd be pleasantly surprised. Once again, not giving boards a pass, because I know how much of a pain in the butt they can be. So,
right.
Good stuff.
Exactly.
Completely.
And I saw a question about silent auction items. There are companies out there. We have vetted a few and feel very comfortable with them. Companies who actually can provide silent auction items for you. So, y'all reach out to us, and I'm happy to provide some names and some companies for you. And they'll have
the business in the street of our friends donation match. Sarah, I think, Sandy,
Oh,
I think, Renee and Daryl at Donation Match are amazing. You might want to take a look there. It's super, super easy to start a profile on Donation Match. They're friends. So absolutely. Thanks, Sandy. Appreciate you.
There you go.
I think that could be a really great vessel as well. I don't think I know. So definitely check that out as well. But
you
want to do a last call for questions?
Well,
you know what?
Yeah, let me make one more company. Tiffany added something in here. Makes a difference. I now go as the auctioneer to a board meeting. And I get them riled up and say, folks, we're going to have a great night, but I need your items. Who's got the timeshare? Who has an extra week in Cabo? Who's got the restaurant they'll donate a dinner for? And they start thinking, because no one's ever asked them. So part of it is we didn't ask them.
Right.
And they've got a lot of reassurces. Usually the board members are people you think might write a big check. Well, they also have some of these items you might need.
They have capacity. Absolutely. And Bev, I know you know Jason personally. It's the people exercise where we actually, like Louis says, we go to the meeting and we give folks the tool. Tiffany, as well, a great point about that. Make it easy for volunteers, committee members, and the board to understand exactly what we need. and you'll be, once again, pleasantly surprised. Folks need a direction, I think. They need to be coached.
Yeah, we talk about like not walking on eggshells about it, right? Just you have to be very clear in your expectations, and when you're bringing them on your board, be very clear about your expectations. Don't walk on eggshells, because if you get the wrong person and they're there, it's just not going to be a good match.
Yeah,
we know it takes courage, but it absolutely can be done. We've seen it time and time again, and it could be that simple to unlock what you need out of your board and committee.
The other thing. Also, if you utilize event management software, again, you want a software that has an online donation form that's built into it, that's connected with your item catalog. So you can just simply share that link with the people who you're asking to donate, and it just reduces the friction, right? They just click on the link, fill in the information about the item, upload pictures if they're pictures, and it goes straight into your auction catalog, reduces your work. Your solicitations team can use that same form. And it just makes it a lot easier for everybody on the team.
We can probably we're going to do something first, but while we're waiting for everyone to join in for the giveaway, I do want to get you guys texting in for that. So we might have maybe time for one more question while we're getting everyone's text in. So Courtney, there you go. Text HGA to 73747 and you will be entered to win. Trevor, what are we giving away today?
My bike. Just kidding.
Lucille?
Lucille with the loose wheel.
Yeah, big BB King fan over here. Yeah, that's my bike, Lucille. No, did I decide last week what we were going to give away? Did I decide that?
Oh, I think you did. What did we give away? Caribbean? Did we give a Caribbean?
I think we gave away a Caribbean. What do you think?
Okay.
I'm going to answer a question with a question. What do you think?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
How about we go a little different today? How about we go a Cabo all-inclusive?
I'll go.
Let me ask the powers that be if they're okay with that. No, I'm joking.
Hey, Trevor, you asked me. Listen, you left me out here to make a decision, so I did.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Sandy. No, we won't.
No, that sounds really, really good. Yeah, all the texts are coming in. Make sure, like Sandy said, that you all text HGA to 73747.
We're gonna call you live. Keep your phone on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be giving folks a call here in a second. Kristen, when is
session 3? Next week?
I told you. I teased.
We'll just do a month of the Murads.
So good. No, this is amazing. And hey, yeah, and it stands up against last week. So good. That was a very fast hour that went by very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
All new.
The invitation.
So did this.
The invitation is always open. I think I'm thinking we need to do a podcast at least about the silent auction. I want to keep talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's just so much goodness coming out of these education sessions. I just appreciate you all so much for doing it, and thanks everybody once again for all the feedback. And yeah, love it. Love the questions. Love the kind words.
And I saw some people in there already like, hey, I just sent you a link to. I love it. I love it. That's why we always ask you guys to put your profiles in there, because the connections you are making in the chat are just amazing. So
I saw that too. I was like, we're making friends here.
I looked at you and I saw your smile. I had a matching smile.
Well, fundraising people need to stick together and help each other. It's great. It's great. You guys making great connections. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. And then, hey, go ahead, Claire, please.
Oh, I was just going to say, we can send a link to our calendar if you'd like, and we will do a free 30-minute consultation with anybody who's been on this webinar. Just to share ideas. You can ask us specific ideas about your events, and we will be happy to share. So we'd love to come back, but if you guys want to kind of dig in and get into the weeds a little bit more, we can certainly do that. And
we're happy to chat with you anytime. So we're here. When we're not doing these, we're just twiddling our thumbs, aren't we?
with 500 events.
Oh, it's so good. No, thank you all for being so willing to spend the time. Yeah, we breathe the same oxygen. Can't thank you enough for just being so giving with this information. Folks need it. We know that folks in this space need it, and they need to be served, like we said at the top of the hour. So can't thank you enough. Courtney, the wizard behind the scenes, sent me a winner. I'm going to go ahead and call the winner about the Cabo All Inclusive right now. Okay.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
Here I go. This will be fun. As long as they have their phone turned on. We had that happen once.
We did have that happen once. We had to get the backup bidder.
Yes way. Who am I speaking with?
No way.
Sarah, how are you?
Love it.
Much better right now than I was even 2 minutes ago.
Oh, well, so we made your day.
100% made my day.
Oh, you rock. Thanks so much for coming. We appreciate you so much. I hope you know that. And thanks for sharing.
It is an absolute joy. Making a connection with you guys was one of the best things I've ever done.
And where did we connect? That's a trick.
It was definitely on LinkedIn.
It was on LinkedIn. That was a trick question, Sarah. That was a trick question. It was on LinkedIn. So, hey, no, you mean the world to us. Thanks so much for coming, and thanks so much for sharing and being
awesome.
Such a beam of light on these and in general, Sarah. Appreciate you, and congratulations. You won the Cabo All Inclusive. I didn't get okay from the folks at the top, but it was Sandy's idea. I'm sure we can get this one through.
She pulls a lot of weight. She pulls some weight.
Hey, thanks so much for coming. Congratulations. We'll be in touch with you shortly, okay?
100%. Thank you so much.
All right, Sarah. Have a great afternoon. That's so cool.
Awesome.
Oh, we made someone's day. Felt really, really good. Hey, y'all, that the invite is open to you anytime to come back. So can't thank you all enough. All this, how much everyone got out of this, and this feedback, once again, is the reason why we're doing it. Can't thank you all so much or enough. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good, Sarah. Awesome.
Appreciate you. Hey, y'all, show Louis and Claire some love, please. Reach out to them. You know how easy they are to reach. And we will be putting the recording out tomorrow. Oh, hey, if you don't mind, International Complete Left Turn, but International DAF Day, Donor Advised Funds. International DAF Day is October 9th. We're going to get in front of that. And yeah, we're having the DAF Guru come on next week, October 2nd. Our friend Mitch Stein, who we met at Ray's, will be coming on and talking about DAFs. Don't be scared. He's going to make it super easy. It's something that you need to have at your ready and make it easy for folks to give with their DAFs. Very, very cool. We just had him on our podcast recently, and I learned a ton. The episode hasn't even come out yet, but just teasing y'all for next week. You'll get the invite if you're here, and can't thank you all enough. Hey, Claire, Louis, thank you so much. Sandy, thank you all so much. Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Awesome. Looking forward to doing it again. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Have a great Thursday. HGA family is out, and we'll talk to you all very soon.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,